Can he drive?
Can he drive? You know what DK stands for?
Donkey Kong?
Drift King.
Drift? What do you mean, drift?
Still in the dictionary?
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers Advice. Today, man, we got to talk about the possibility of DK Metcalf joining the Carolina Panthers and what that means for an Adam Thielen, and Jalen Coker, and especially Xavier Legette. So as always, man, we're going to jump into the film and see what did DK have this past year. We know who DK Metcalf is, right? We know he's the guy who chased down Buda Baker on the interception. But what did he do this past year? Let's take a look and also talk about what he could potentially bring to the Carolina Panthers. Now, right here, looks like an option route. Okay, about everybody on the team can do that. Second player we're going to look at right here, you got DK Metcalf, bottom of your screen. DB's doing a great job playing him. But watch what DK does at the top of the route. And this is where I think Legette could learn something from DK. We're going to pause it right here. You're going to see DK slightly extend the hand and then make his way back to Geno Smith. He sees him scrambling. Bang, comes back to him. So props to DK for one, using his hand to create separation where the refs don't see it, and two, coming back to your quarterback when he's on the run. Both these things I think Legette could learn from. Let's keep it going, man. Let's take a look at play number 3. This one I think Legette actually does a great job doing. Okay, right here is essentially a jump ball over the DB. I think Legette already does a great job of that. Right here is another one where I think Legette could learn from. A little slant and go, gets the DB to bite on that cover 2 look, and he is gone. Let's run that back one more time. I love this play right here. Take a look. We're going to see the Dolphins in probably just a cover 2 zone, to be honest. All right, DB, you see him, bang. He's acting like he's going to run with DK like a cover 2 man, but you see him drop down there. All right, that means safety's going to pick up DK. But watch what DK does right here. He acts like he's running the slant. All right, flat's going to pass him off to the safety. Safety's supposed to pick him up right there. The thing is, DK isn't running a slant. Slant and go. Boom. Right over the top. Throws a little short, but then look at the wheels. All right, he's called DK for a reason. Let's keep it going. Right here against the Lions. Let's see what we got. Geno shopping back. He's going to throw it to DK Metcalf. Woo! And again, this isn't anything new. We knew that DK could do this. And honestly, man, I really think he could help Legette grow a lot. I mean, the catches, the speed, all of it, man. He's an all-around great receiver. He's got height. He's got the length. Legette could be this, right? He's already got that top end speed. He already makes great catches that are contested. The thing about Legette is this right here. Okay, it's those catches that you're going to make, but you're going to get popped. Right? Or you're not going to get popped. You just don't know who's around you, so you're taking your eye off the ball, trying to make that next step. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then he panics, right? Or he starts to run without the ball. We saw that happen a few times in the Bengals game with Andy Dalton. This is where I think DK Metcalf could help Legette out a lot. When you're about to get hit, right, what do you do to hold on to the ball, right? I mean, it's common knowledge, right, to protect it, cover it up. But at some point in the NFL, the hits... they're a little bit different, right? And the same thing when no one's around you and you want to make that next step to take off. How do you do that, right? So DK Metcalf, man, the film looks great. I think we have 1 or 2 more plays. Let's take a look right here. This might have been the no-show. Yeah, that's nasty work right there. That no-show. And what I mean by no-show is that at no point does he tell the receiver that the ball is going to be right in his breadbasket, right? At no point. He doesn't ever put his hands up. The ball just falls right there. So that's DK Metcalf. Is there a chance the Panthers get him? I think there's honestly a legitimate chance. The thing is, what do the Seahawks want in return? Okay, there's chance of the Raiders getting him. They already got Geno Smith. They have Pete Carroll. So there's a chance there, depending on how much DK likes Geno Smith and how much he's like Pete Carroll, right? There's talk of the Packers getting him, Steelers potentially. There's a few teams out there. But I honestly think if he comes to Carolina, he saw the rebuilding process last year. All right, I hope he did, right? Saw how they finished off the season. I think, honestly, should have beat the Chiefs, should have beat the Eagles, to be honest with you, both teams in the Super Bowl. You would be the number one weapon. By far. By far. And the Panthers, Dave likes to run that smash mouth football. So it's not going to be 5 receiver sets all the time. It might be a 3 receiver set, but it might just be a 2 receiver set depending on how they handle this back situation moving forward. So that's going to wrap up DK. Let me know your thoughts on him. Do you want him? Do you not want him? Let's move on to our next topic, and that is talking about the depth chart. Actually, not really, but I do want to bring this up since it's already here. If you look at the receivers we have right now, all right, you got Coker, Leggett, Adam Thielen, and then we don't know what's going to happen with the rest. So Leggett, like I said before, he's easily a number one option. But now let's move on to our next topic, and that's going to be, drum roll please, Austin Corbett has been signed. Now, what are my thoughts on Austin Corbett? So a lot of people, they don't like PFF, or you do love PFF. It's one or the other. I'm one of the few where I'm in between. I like what PFF does. Now, what do I mean by that? You'll never catch me on the grades. Very, very rarely will you ever see me on the grades because I don't trust their grading process. However, what I do appreciate is them running all these numbers, okay? Again, I don't care about the rank. Don't care about it, all right? What I'm looking at is everything on the right and the subject we're talking about. So right here, it says offensive snaps played for Austin Corbett, 291. Then you look to your right. Okay, 291 at what position? All at center. And this is huge to know because they could just go 291 snaps played. Okay, was it left tackle? Was it left guard? Was it center? Now, that may not mean much. However, as you go back and you look over here, you're going to want to see run block snaps played, 104 it looks like, 187 pass snaps block. So now you're saying, okay, he was in this many times for pass block, this many times for run block. Not bad. Penalties. Was it a left tackle penalty? Was it a center penalty? Two completely different things. And right here you saw he played 291 snaps at center. Only 1 penalty. Sacks allowed, only 1. Hits allowed, only 1. And I think pressures allowed, only 3. So these are good numbers, but you also have to equate only 291 snaps. So if you look right here, like I said, very rarely will I look at rank, but you have to in this case. We're like, okay, I know 291, that wasn't a full season. Where does that rank among all the centers? And that's 40th. So there's 39 other centers who played more snaps than he did at center. However, if you look right here, 1 penalty, 1 sack allowed, 1 hit allowed, and only 3 pressures. That's pretty good. The other guy we're going to talk about and kind of compare him to is this guy right here, Cade Mays. So the Panthers bring back Corbett and they bring back Mays. Let's take a look at Mays real quick. Like I said before, same thing we're going to look at. 495 snaps played, all at center. And a lot of you guys seem to like Cade Mays a lot at center. So let's look real quick. 327 snaps played, pass block, 168 run block. The next thing to look at is no sacks allowed. Now, he did have 5 penalties, so that's going to hurt a little bit. 2 hits allowed, and he had a little bit more on the pressures too. And if you want to take this more in depth, then you have to go and look at, okay, who played against who, right? So if you had to make a case for Cade or Corbett, unfortunately, it can't be decided here. We'd have to look at the game log. So this is what I mean when I say I don't hate PFF, but I don't love PFF because, it shows you pressures, but it's not showing you pressures against the top 5 teams. Now, maybe their whole premium thing does that in XYZ. But just right here alone, for the average person to go off PFF and then they go to quote this on a blog, a YouTube video, or just out in public, it kind of stirs the pot a little bit. Because Cade Mays could have gone against a tougher interior D line versus Corbett or vice versa. So that's why I say I don't hate PFF, but I don't love it. But honestly, both guys, man, you can't go wrong with. You definitely bring some depth to the offensive line. The next one to talk about is Tommy Tremble right here. Now, Panthers fans seem to tolerate Tremble. All right, I think they like Jatavion Sanders. They tolerate Tremble. And we know who they didn't like, right? So let's look at Tremble real quick. All right, 308 pass snaps, 29 targets, routes ran 263, receptions 23. So receptions to targets, that's actually pretty good. Receiving yards, 234. So that's about, 10 yards a catch right there. I expect that from Tremble. All right, 2 receiving touchdowns, no drops, 10 yards per reception right there, yep. Yards after catch, 5. Passer rating when targeted, 100. About what I expected, to be honest with you. I think Tremble was hurt for part of the season, too. He's averaging 10 yards a catch. You can't go wrong with that, honestly. 2 touchdowns. Tremble just isn't Sanders when it's all said and done. Sanders, he's just different. Tremble brings you a little versatility to the position. Not really a great blocker and not as elusive as Jatavion Sanders. He's kind of in between. Let me know your thoughts on him. The next one we're going to look at is Mr. Jatavion Sanders right here. So, definitely more pass snaps played. 43 targets, 314 routes ran, 33 receptions. What's crazy is the amount of routes you run in the NFL, and these are your targets. Like that to me is insane, guys. I mean, that number is just crazy to me. Receiving yards, 342. All right, 1 touchdown, 4 drops, 10 yards per reception. I mean, these numbers seem to be pretty equal to Tremble, right? But then when you watch the film, that's why I say don't always trust what you see. When you watch the film, you see what Jatavion Sanders can do. Hell, against the Chiefs, he was going off until he got hurt. The catches he can make, it's next level. Tremble's good, but Sanders is next level, right? And he got hurt. When he came back, he never really got back into the flow of the offense, or they didn't want him to. I'm not sure what happened there. So let me know your thoughts. Jatavion, Tremble, are you happy with the tight ends? And if you're not, do you hope that the Carolina Panthers draft one of these tight ends right here? I was going through them. None of them screamed blocker to me. All right, they're definitely good. Don't get me wrong. These tight ends can definitely ball out, right? One of the best tight end classes they're saying in quite some time. The guy I thought that was potentially the best blocker was potentially Evans. Elijah wasn't bad either. All right, these 3 I think are going to be gone within the first probably 3 to 4 rounds, give or take. So you got Elijah. Mason I thought was decent. Terrence, he's a good receiving tight end. All right, I think Mitchell is the best kind of all around. Potentially Panthers draft Jake right here. First Clemson draft pick. To me, that's insane, but maybe that happens. So let me know your thoughts. We got DK, potentially. Who knows? All right, they signed Cade. They signed Corbett. That says a lot because I'm not sure that past front office gets that done, if we're being honest. So they take care of the O-line, which is the most important thing. It's hard to bring in a quarterback when your offensive line sucks, right? Not just the Panthers, anywhere. So I'm glad that they're putting that as a priority and getting that done first and giving them some depth because injuries will happen, right? You can't avoid them. So you got Corbett, you got Mason. Who knows what else they're going to do? To me, nicely done, Panthers. That's going to wrap it up. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Panthers Vices out. Peace.